I graduated high school about 6 months ago, and I remember hearing people say they wish they could go back or they wish they could do it again. And I always remember that, thinking, why? Looking back, I did have fond memories, and my life was admittedly a lot simpler. And while yes, my life has gotten harder, there's no way I would go back just to make it simpler. I tend to think of myself as a forward thinker, as in I prefer to move ahead rather than go back to fix something that I did earlier in my life. But my track record with films may say otherwise, such as with the Dark Force Episode 4 Special Edition and Episode 3 Revisited Edition coming soon. And if I could, I would touch up the editing in Passion Never Stops. And if you really want to go back, I have a Premiere Pro project about the Capture trilogy I did over 7 years ago. So I have to ask, is it bad to revisit old projects? Well, maybe. George Lucas once said that films are never finished, they're abandoned, and he certainly showed that record. And yes, it's not gotten him the best response, but it's all 100% true. Now granted, I do feel that me revisiting some of these projects were for legitimate reasons, such as in Episode 4 where there were just simple audio and editing errors that were just a simple touch-up to make. Episode 3, on the other hand, he's coming for me.
Failure.
In terms of Passion Never Stops, while I would like to go back and touch up the editing like I said, the film is over 2 years old, and despite those choppy edits that I have, I do think the film is rather good for what it is. And besides, I don't have the footage anymore, so re-editing it is kind of out of the question. As for Capture, seriously, why the heck am I still touching that thing? I've started thinking, how long am I gonna do this for future films? Well, hopefully not much. Like I said, I'm a very forward thinker, so after Episode 3 Revisited, that's gonna be the end of it. I have a theory that if we look back at our past way too much and focus on what we could have done, rather than what we can do now and in the future, then we're just gonna be depressed all the time. In terms of films, however, we're just going to have to accept that the final cut, or whatever cut you settle with, it's never going to be perfect. I can tell you just about every film I've made, it never comes out the way I exactly envisioned it. It's just not possible. I've already started working on my new documentary and working on a new short film as well, and I've never want to go back and revisit them. Every once in a while, it's okay to go back and touch some things up, but mostly, it's good to go forward. Well guys, that does it for me. Check back in for Short Film Mondays. In the meantime, make sure to follow me on all my social media, and make sure to head on over to ThunderBoltFilms.club for more website exclusive content. Alright guys, and I'll see you next time.